Hi, welcome to Friday Night Live, and we're coming to you from Hawaii with all these pokey frogs. They're not birds, they're frogs. What was this week's question?
Thoughts create things.
Do thoughts create things? We had a little conversation about what does this question mean, because there were so many different questions stemming from the law of attraction. And their concern was, if they think negatively, are they creating negative things?
Attracting negative things towards them in the world.
Yeah. So, before we jump into that, I want to tell a quick little story about two of my favorite satellites.
Do you have a favorite satellite?
I do.
Okay.
I do. They change. One is in the northern hemisphere and one is in the southern hemisphere. And these satellites, what their job is to read the electromagnetic field of the world, of the globe, the field of electromagnetism that's surrounding the world. So it has been bringing back readings every 15 minutes. And so far it's just been a baseline, normal highs, normal lows, nothing really significant until September 11th. And I think we all remember September 11th, where we were and what we were thinking. About half an hour after the first tower fell, the readings spiked. The readings were brought back to NASA, and there was a spike in the reading. And what science has found is that the only thing powerful enough to spike those readings was the human emotion of compassion. And we're going to get into that. We're going to break down the anatomy of a thought, of an emotion, and sort of explain that to you, for you today.
Well, we'll give it a go.
Yeah, we'll give it a go.
So just to back up a bit, so humans' feeling of compassion for the suffering of others was so strong that human emotion changed the electromagnetic field of the planet.
Right.
That's how powerful our emotion meaning energy in motion, can be personally and globally.
Right. That actually ignited the Heart Math Institute to create a initiative, the Global Coherence Initiative. And what they're doing is studying this human emotion, this force of nature, to help inform us and facilitate a positive global change.
Yeah. So normally you talk about thoughts creating feelings. And so what is a feeling? Feeling you could also call an emotion. Okay. And emotions, another word for that is energy in motion. So the energy or emotion, that's a resonance. We're resonating our feelings out into the world, like dropping a stone in, and it's kind of like ripples out into the world. Because from one perspective, we're all just strings of vibration within this one divine conscious state. In fact, Nikola Tesla is famous as saying, if you wish to seek the secrets of the universe, look in terms of energy, vibration, and frequency. And we live in an energy universe. Everything strings of energies, packets of potential, if you will. And everything has a resonance that has a resonant effect on everything else. So we're going to kind of explain that about the question, if I'm thinking negatively, am I going to attract negative things towards us? So hang on, we are explaining it. You just need to bear with us a bit. So when we talk about resonance, we just need to explain what that means. And I'm going to have to get a diagram again. So hang on a moment.
So resonance is the relationship between two things. And resonance, well, Rudy's going to draw an amazing diagram. He's so good at.
Well, it's going to be a diagram. I don't know how amazing it would be.
They're all amazing.
Okay, so when you look at emotion, energy in motion, What science has found, very, very simply, is that emotions go along two polarities.
Love and fear.
Love and fear. Now,
we're not saying that there's only two emotions. We're just saying there's the polarities within, there's a whole range, a whole rainbow of emotions within that.
This is the whole color of the rainbow.
Yeah.
So what they found, especially with the work of the Heart Map Institute, is that fearful thinking creates fearful feeling. So if you're not thinking very productively, or if you're thinking distress, anger, disharmony, you're going to feel that resonance in your body. And the way we want to explain this, and this is really, really interesting, is that all energy is a wave, and a wave kind of looks a bit like that. Now, here we have one wave.
1 cycle per second.
Yeah, so that's like 1 cycle per second, or the frequency of 1. Now, fear looks something like this. So it's a very low frequency, meaning the frequency of the waves. It's a low frequency energy in motion. Love, on the other hand, looks something kind of like this. And I'll be here all day if I can keep going, but it looks something like that, where there is loads of waves, lots of frequencies. It's a high frequency, meaning high cycles per second. Now, obviously, there's all manner of different things in between there. But what they found is that the higher the frequency, the greater the impact on space-time, or the greater the resonance is resonating out into the world. The lower the cycles per second, the less power it has. So in a sense, low frequencies are quite powerless, because it's when you kind of collapse, and high frequencies are very powerful because you expand.
Right.
Now, I just want to say, we're not saying this is right and wrong, that you shouldn't do this and you should do that, because I don't know about you, but I tend to go in between these. I kind of hover around the middle generally, but I go up and I go down. So this isn't what to do or how to do it. It's just, this is how the science of consciousness works, in a sense.
Right.
Anything to add?
Well, this is just how nature is.
Yeah.
We have our highs and lows, our ebbs and flows, our happy times, our sad times, our tears and our laughter, just as the seasons of the year. So I don't know about you, but I've never been able to maintain this, or really been able to maintain that.
Yeah. So that's the first thing. The second thing is if you're down there on the spectrum, what you're thinking really isn't very powerful. Okay. When you're up here, this energy in motion is very, very powerful. When you're down there, it's quite powerless. And the reason we're saying that is this love has about this much impact on space-time, which is physical reality. Fear, about that much. There's a lot of juice up here, not very much here, because fearful collapses, love expands.
Right.
So if you are worried that you're thinking thoughts of, I'm going to get a disease, I don't like that person, I'm always going to be useless at what I'm doing, whatever you're thinking, any disempowering thought, it's not having much of an effect on space-time. It's not really, it hasn't got a very big impact, so I wouldn't really worry about it.
Let's show the graph.
Yeah, okay, I'm putting a graph up. So these are the cycles per second, the frequency, meaning the higher the frequency, the greater the impact in space-time.
So
The lower this
yeah,
frequency, the less impact.
Heinrich Hertz invented this amazing scale. And you can see, yeah, just as Rudy said, the higher the frequency, the higher the number. The lower the frequency, the lower the number. The higher the frequency, the more power. That's why the GOES satellite was able to register the spike, because people had feelings of compassion. And people asked a very good question. Well, why didn't fear, anger? Maybe it was fear, anger, and science simply says, NASA simply said, well, it just didn't have enough oomph. It didn't have enough power to register.
There's been a number of different studies on this, like with human compassion literally changing the whole energy field of the planet. There's something called the Maharishi effect, where a small number of people get together, they're in this state of enlightenment, peace, joy, love, bliss, and that resonance, energy and motion, resonates out to the city that they're in, and crime goes down, road traffic accidents goes down, hospital visits goes down. This is a very measurable effect. In fact, the last one, the research showed there's like 1 in a billion chance that could have happened via just coincidence. And the study has been replicated a number of times.
Right.
Now, if you had, sometimes it's such a small group of people, it's like 100 people, and cities can actually have millions of people. So if 100 people in an emotion of love, that resonance can affect space-time so strongly. Just imagine how powerful that we are just going about our lives. We don't even need to talk to anybody. Mm-hmm. We can just be coming from that resonance, and it's rippling out into this world and creating a kind of like a heaven on earth in a sense.
Right. And so these are thoughts coupled, powered by the heart-based emotion. Mm-hmm. With the scale that you just saw. Sid Banks says, thought on its own is a completely neutral gift. And Dr. Greg Braden says that a thought alone is neither good nor bad, strong or weak. It's when it's coupled by that heart-based emotion that it has true power.
Yeah. One other thing, the reason thoughts don't make things in my book, sorry if you're fans of The Secret, I like to reword that and say that emotion resonates with a like resonance. So emotion creates, high frequency creates. The reason this is if you've got, let's call him Joe, he's got very long legs. Actually, no, he's got 2 strange arms and 2 short legs. There you go. Not quite sure what's going on there.
You're very creative.
The heart and the brain. Now, the heart has 5,000 times more magnetic influence on space-time than the brain, and 100 times electric. The brain only sends 10% of information to the heart, and the heart sends 90% of information to the brain. So the heart's it's pretty cool. It's kind of doing the job. So you think a thought, there you go, you think a thought, and it's pretty powerless until the heart gets hold of it.
Right.
And then that 5,000 times greater magnetic quality resonates that out into the world. So what we're really saying is heart-based emotions, love, compassion, gratitude, care for other people, peace,
joy.
They're not just helpful for us, for our bodies, for our emotional states, for our minds, but they resonate out and have a harmonic resonance with everything in the apparent outside world.
Throughout humanity.
So if you're having negative thoughts and worried thoughts and fearful thoughts, and you're worried that you're going to bring that towards you, like the law of attraction, you don't have to worry, because it's quite uncreative and powerless from that state of cycles per second. However, from a feeling of love and bliss and connection with our fellow brothers and sisters of this beautiful green planet, we're powerful. Love is powerful. It's the most powerful thing in the universe, because in a sense it's really the only thing in the universe. It's an emotional state, and it's a force that spins galaxies and collapses stars and creates universes. It's a power, and as we realign with this pre-existing state of consciousness, we become powerful too.
Beautiful. I love that.
Anything else?
No, I think that was it.
Okay, so that was a bit of a weird one for you, and we're going to start doing more stuff around the science of consciousness and the power of the heart.
More weird stuff.
Weird? What does weird stand for?
Wonderfully empathic
and intuitive.
Or
being real and down to earth. So that's what we mean by weird. Anyway, thanks so much for watching, guys. See you next week.
Bye, love you.